This is the Board of Assessment Appeals, room number 4. Today is Saturday, March 21st. The time is 8:58 a.m. This is Neil Fink. So welcome. I'm Neil Fink.
Neil?
Yes.
Hi, Megan.
I'm one of 9 members of the Board of Assessment Appeals, and I'll be hearing your appeal today.
Okay.
Your hearing's also being recorded, as I mentioned. The current time is 9:02 a.m. This is appeal number 838 for 272 Quincy Street. The homeowner is Megan McKinney, and you are Megan McKinney, yes?
Yes.
Okay. The town placed a value on the property of $1,376,691, and you are requesting that that be reduced to $1,100,000. So.
Well, here's the question is,
okay.
It's always like that oxymoron. Obviously, you want your house to be worth more, but somebody said if you're questioning the the evaluation, the jump in the evaluation, that you're supposed to put something lower. And my first question was, is this based on just the lot size, the parcel, or the dwelling and the parcel?
So what it is technically supposed to be is if you were to sell your home on October 1st of 2025, you know, what would it have sold for, which would be the lot and the house.
Okay.
Now,
lot and house. So
yeah, I mean, the whole, you know, if you were to sell it, so you sell the house and the lot together. Now, you know, based on where you're, and we can get into this in more detail later, but based on where you're located, and, you know, I didn't look to see, I don't know what the age and condition of your home is.
That was my next question.
A lot of older homes in that area are valued mostly on the land and very little on the improvements because, you know, so much of what gets purchased down there is purchased just for the land, and they build something new.
Correct.
On the property.
That's going to be a question coming up,
Before we really start, though, I need to swear you in, actually, for the hearing. So if you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. So now I just need you to sign in and also, you know, confirm that the information we reviewed is accurate. If you decide you want to change that amount,
we can after discussion, yes, okay, because I want to make sure I'm understanding.
And when the board reviews everything, they do have the prerogative to, you know, recommend an amount that is somewhere in between as well. Like if, you know, if they say, well, you didn't justify 1.1, but maybe it's 1.2 or, you know, something in between, they can do that.
But isn't that the whole oxymoron is obviously you want the value of your house to be higher, but then as far as property taxes go, the increase.
Yeah, but you don't want to overpay for taxes, and if you really believe if you believe that you could never get that amount for, you know, 1.3 for your home if you were to sell it, then you're overpaid.
So let's see. Mark, Neil, Megan. Okay.
And then you're going to sign that's for me. That's for me, and then you're going to sign here.
Here.
And that's just confirming this is correct, and then I swear you in, and then I'm going to take this here, 1st of March. Okay, so now the rest of the time is yours, and we can go through.
All right, so just to make sure, so you did say it was lot and house, correct?
Yeah, again, like if you were to sell and move.
Right, so that was the biggest question because that was the question up in the air because people had said no. The condition of your dwelling didn't matter, but does it matter? So today, you know, my neighbor and I have the same exact square footage lot, land lot, parcel lot, and they have a brand new house, and I have a 19 whatever house, and nothing has been changed.
That should be reflected, and that would be an argument you could make. Like if, you know, if your neighbor had one of the, you know, I don't know what your house was built in 1983.
Right.
It's a 100 square foot cape, right? If your neighbor has one of these 4,000 square foot brand new, you know, sky high houses and they're on the same size lot and your house is appraised at the same as theirs, then
Right,
that
I
would be a
understand.
reasonable argument to say
So it's not,
that yours is overvalued.
it's not, like, so comparing houses,
But comparing to comparable houses is really
Yeah.
the most valuable thing that
Right.
the board looks
right,
at.
okay, gotcha.
You know, in the neighborhood. And yours, the way yours breaks out, you know, which, again, like I've seen, I mean, I guess because it's a larger house, it's not like one of the tiny old bungalows or something
Right.
from the 1950s. It's, you know, they valued the dwelling at $283,000 and the land at about $1.1 million is how they arrived at the total of the 1.376.
Which of course I like that number for selling purposes,
Right.
however,
But the question is really, like, do you really believe that you could sell it for that much? And, you know,
I don't know because of the condition of the home. The home
Okay.
is, has had no updates. It's the original, kitchen, I think from the first owner. Kitchen, bathrooms, no central air. I don't even know if they can put central air in the existing house. I think I
Okay.
asked once, and because there's not an attic, it's just like a little area, that's
right.
questionable.
Yeah, that's difficult in case, but there isn't a real attic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, the kitchen, the bath, that's the most important thing, the windows, doors. I think they call it do they call it a basement, or did he change it to a crawl space? There's no potential for the basement, it's just one of those crawl spaces that's like 4 feet high, it's unusable.
Right, it is considered a crawl space,
Okay,
and they're not,
okay.
yeah, it's not like you're not being charged for a, like, finished basement or something like that.
Right, okay, yeah. So really, the concern is the condition of the dwelling. Obviously, the parcel size, the lot size, there's nothing to do about it. That's
Right.
worth what it's worth, right?
Right.
Right, okay. So
But
that
it
is
looks like
really-
you brought some information about some sale.
well, I thought it was just like for questions, I'm like, because this is what I thought I should do. So if they're not big, like, I don't know if you even do this, if you look up trying to do comparable things,
Right.
are you supposed to look at that property tax and see what it is, compared to yours? If it's similar dwelling and similar lot
dwelling,
size?
we would look at what, ideally, if it's a recent sale, we would look at what it sold for, and if that aligns with the appraisal.
Okay, so the appraisal is different than this assessment thing?
Yeah, the
Because
assessment is 70%,
I think whatever calculation I did, it was
but I can look them up if
78%.
you don't have.
So 78% means what?
It should be
as far as
70.
the
The
property?
assessment should be, they appraise the home, so yours is appraised at $1,376,000, and then they take 70% of that, and then that's what you're taxed on. I don't know why Connecticut does it that way, instead of just charging a lower tax rate on the full amount, but that's just how our state has decided to confuse everybody. And
Yeah, it's very
in the end, it all works out
confusing.
the same,
I know
because
it's
they
very
just adjust the mill rate, the tax rate
Right,
is
but
just
how much are they
relative
gonna
to.
adjust that? Ours is so high, and why is ours so high compared to other towns?
The rate, they've already estimated what the rate's gonna be. I don't remember what the exact number is, but the mill rate's gonna come way down because of the jump in property value. On average, properties across town, residential properties across town were up about 40% since the last reval. So they bring the tax rate down to even out for that. It's not like everybody's taxes are gonna go up 40%. Because it's still just the total of the property values divided by the budget.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the budget goes up a little bit.
I wonder how much it goes down, though. It says, I think, in what you sent out, that it's not gonna be decided
It's
until July.
Yeah, the first selectman had something on her website of what they were estimating the new mill rate would be. I
Do you
don't
know what that
remember.
was?
I don't remember.
I think when I looked it
What
up,
it
at
is.
20, the last one was like 28.
Yeah, I think the new one is low. Wait, that was the estimate for the new one, or that was the
No,
last one?
I think that was the last
think
one,
the new
if I
one-
pulled it up correctly.
I wonder if I can find it, 'cause people keep asking. Um, oh, so yeah, they're estimating a 4.28% tax increase, I guess, overall. Oh, of course, this website that has the information is like a paid website, and it's opening a million other windows. They're estimating the mill rate to be between 0.18 and 0.19, it looks like.
0.19, that's
0.18 and 0.19, yeah.
so 18 and 19?
Yeah.
When is that the same thing as when it said it was last year, was it 28, it was 28 point something?
Yeah.
So did it go from 28 point something to 18 or 19?
Yeah. So because the overall, the total taxable property went up so much. So anyway,
Well,
I mean, we have no say over what the
Of course,
actual rate
no,
is.
I know, of course.
But it would be helpful if you did have some information, some properties that you looked at of recent sales that
I didn't know, I wasn't doing that at recent sales. I was looking at it more as a perspective. I didn't know as the amount of property taxes versus, kind of same lot size and same,
and what their appraisals were?
And square footage.
So
I
well, give me an example of I'm curious, like one of the addresses that you looked at.
Yeah, but I was doing it kind of backwards. But let's see.
Well, let's see.
One is,
relevant.
so I was doing it like, 94 Roland Road.
Okay.
This is off, I don't know if this is correct, and then that was the other thing, I was told that how you do it is pull it off Zillow, but then another person said, you gotta get the field card, but I didn't realize, we could get other property field cards.
Yeah, it's all
I didn't know that.
Public information,
So something like 94 Roland, what I was doing, which I didn't know at the time was, so my lot square footage, I think is, let me have my,
wait, something's wrong.
Okay, sorry.
With that one came up really weird.
But I'll show you what I pulled, but for an example, Oh, you have to pull up the field card.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so that sold for $675 back in 2009, I guess. So that the sale amount is not
$675.
So, yeah, but that was back in 2009.
Okay, but
that's the same as what you paid for your
exactly.
house.
So, for instance, the way I did it was, we said 94, right? So, I'm at 137, they're at 137, virtually the same thing. However,
and their appraisal is about
the same
to yours.
So my question was, is the way I was doing it, not
Right.
understanding.
But their lot, their house is a little bit bigger, their lot is a little bit bigger.
Right, they're
tiny bit.
Both, tiny bit.
And it's a colonial with an additional bedroom.
Let's see, I didn't see if they had some of the features. It's 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. I don't know the condition, but just by looking at it, the condition looks good. I don't know if they have the AC, things like that, but that's my point there.
Right.
The living space and the lot is a little bit higher, and it's not a lot, but then why were their taxes, property taxes, lower than mine in 2025?
no AC in that house.
Okay.
But it's, yeah, but it
But
is
so that's an
about
example, yeah.
300 square feet bigger. Colonial
Yeah,
as well
not a
can
lot,
sell
but
for
yeah.
a little bit more than
Yeah,
paid.
yeah.
Okay.
And then, what was this one? I mean, I'm just going, 279 Roland, maybe we could look at. I wanted to do more thinking, I work in Greenwich, so I just, a lot of
That's a fun
research to like
commute.
run home. By the time I get home, it's 8 o'clock at night, so it's hard to do all this
Yeah,
stuff.
I commute to Stamford, and I think that's bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just hard to do, plus I wasn't really understanding, I was getting so many different
Right.
explanations on what to do.
So, let's see.
So it's
that's
279,
also
right? So that's at
Colonial.
1.6.
Yeah, so that's very comparable to 94 Roland Road.
Well, it's more, 1.6, 4 bedrooms, and that's okay. The lot's a little bigger,
Yeah.
the living is kind of the same.
Right.
And, you know, not a lot, but to me, it's a lot every penny, because it's been like over double since I moved there, and their 2025 taxes were a little bit lower.
You're right, let's look at something else here. I don't normally do this, but so let's see, I'm curious, so yours is 2166, so that's like 20.
I want to try to find one that's kind of the best example, but.
That's really surprising. I'm trying to pull up the actual sales from, I put in October 1st of 24 until now. Let's see, I put in anywhere from like, I don't know, let's say 1,500 square feet to 3,000 square feet even, just,
Oh, I know what I had questions for you too.
neighborhood 65. All sales. Okay, yeah, I only come up with 2. So there's let's see, so on August 18th of 2025, you know where Colonial Drive is? I'm not sure.
Oh, sort of. Yeah, I think one of my, oh no, I'm thinking.
It's like, it's somewhere nearby because it's the same neighborhood code as here.
Yeah.
So that house sold in August of 25 for 1.6. It's a 1,820 square foot cape. I'm guessing it's probably close to the water for that
I wonder
price.
what the condition of the house is though. So if the condition of so what it comes down to is, like I said earlier, the land is worth what it's worth because you're near the beach but.
Okay. Yeah, oh, you know what that house is?
What?
That was bought by a builder in 23, and it looks like they bought it and built a new house on it.
Well, good. Well, that actually makes me feel that they bought it for 1.6.
Well, after it was rebuilt, it doesn't show. I don't know why it shows it as 0. It doesn't show me what the builder paid for.
Can I ask a question like in the reverse, not to confuse matters?
No, that's fine.
So, like a house that's nicer. Actually, this house, the Showstopper on Roland, is the exact same house as my house.
Okay.
Totally redone, but the exact same house. So
which one is that? 279?
177.
177.
No, 279 I was comparing because that was their tax, that was actually a little bit of bigger lot, and it was actually kind of similar, because it's 4 bedroom, 1.5 bath, and their taxes were a little lower. That's the way I was looking at it, not about the Oh, and they're 1.6, but at 1.6, I guess that's a new estimate, but their property taxes in 2025 were a little lower. But on the reverse, if we went to the 177.
A 177, it's like
Yeah.
1777. Okay.
And this is just for my understanding, so it's structural wise, unless they did, they might have done something in back, but I had actually been in their house because I knocked on the door one time and said, we have the exact same house. And they
Okay.
invited me in. Except now they have 3 baths, a little more square footage, 2,723.
Yeah, they have 4 bedrooms, 3
And,
baths.
And a bigger thing, and it's completely 100% inside and out, like brand new. They
Okay.
did like a great job, and so that reflects in the price, obviously. But I was just wondering, just doesn't seem like a big difference in
Theirs is lower
in
than
tax.
yours. The appraisal there, they got a lower appraisal than yours, actually.
That can't be. This house is brand new.
Right.
Gorgeous backyard, everything.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying, it's like, how does this work?
Right.
My house is old, decrepit. Nothing
Right.
has been even, what do you call it? It's not like I even got, new kitchen cabinets, in 2015. Everything's from
Right.
2010.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
So wait, I'm curious. So that was bought in 2022, so they renovated it after they bought it in 22, I guess, or?
I don't know. And then
I
it wasn't sold
probably-
again after 2022? Yeah.
In 25, let's see, is this, no, that's Colonial Drive. Wait, I can find that field card now, I lost it. 177 Roland, let's see, there's, what do they have for, okay, in 21, they built, in 21 after they bought it, yeah, they built a room over the garage, it looks
Yeah,
like.
that one. But even before that,
They redid the entire foundation, they
He
built a
was-
pool.
I mean, it is like,
So, yeah, new roof, is your roof original also, or is that
Mine?
been redone?
no, I just had to do
You
that.
did, okay,
So that's the only
okay.
new thing.
okay. But yeah, in 22, they redid the entire foundation, they built a pool, and did the
I mean,
garage,
the
and
inside,
did a room
everything's
above
brand
the
new on
garage
the
and
inside.
renovated
So
the
I'm just
interior.
wondering,
Yeah,
like, why
okay,
are their taxes just like really not that much
Right.
more than mine?
Their taxes are lower than yours.
How does that even make sense?
Okay, well, I don't know, but I have all that, so we're actually gonna run out of time here, so
Yeah,
let me
I know.
explain to you the next steps
Okay.
here. So what happens now is that I'll take all this information, I present your case with all the notes and whatever information.
So you have all the information, the field
Yes.
cards that we discussed?
Yes,
Like 270, whatever's pertinent,
Yep.
you will provide.
yes.
So you don't need any of my stuff, yeah?
No, because I have the field
Okay,
cards, which
okay,
has more
okay.
data than that.
Okay, sorry to interrupt,
And
so,
some
okay,
people
so
like-
continue, so you'll,
So I
Yeah.
present it to the majority of the board, and there'll be a deliberation and a vote.
okay,
If you do receive a reduction, then you cannot appeal again, whatever that reduction amount is, you can't appeal again for another 4 years until after the next revaluation.
right,
If you do not receive a reduction, you can appeal again in next year, actually. You can
oh,
try
I see what
again.
you're saying, I see what you're saying.
If you disagree with the board's decision, the next step would be to appeal in court, and instructions on how to do that will be in the decision letter.
Well, let's see what
Um,
happens now that I also know that you told me what the estimate, that it should be coming, the mill rate should be coming down, and,
Right.
so what does that
Um,
estimate, like, dollar-wise, like, how much it goes, but we'll see. I was just needed to understand how the process works, and sometimes I've always thought that, I'm like, how does, is it mattered if some beautiful house and some non-old, non-renovated house had the same, how that worked out. But thank you for your time and trying to explain it to me.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure I'm calculating that right.
That's okay.
I think I'm calculating it wrong.
Yeah,
because
that's okay.
Comes out to, no, because that comes out to $24,000, which I know is not right.
No, I know, so don't worry about it, because,
No.
well, it is what it is, but you're saying that, and I can look it up on the website, that the selectman is estimating mill rate 18 or 19?
Yeah.
Okay. And 4.2 tax increase is what we think, but everything will be known when we receive our property tax for July, is that correct?
Yes, which is,
Okay.
and so, yeah, I mean, in terms of we have a lot of these appeals to get, hearings to get through,
yeah.
so, but you will definitely have your decision letter in advance
Prior
of when
to.
the new tax bills go out.
Thank you.
Okay?
Well, thank you
Thank
for
you very
walking me
much.
through. I think
You're
I think I
welcome.
understand
Nice to meet
little
you,
better.
and good luck.
I know.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
That concludes appeal number 838. The time is now 9:28. Through that door and to the right. Okay, so before we begin, I just need to go through a little bit of information here. This is appeal number 864. The current time is 9:31 a.m. The property address is 210 Carroll Road. The homeowner is Matthew Newell, and you are Matthew Newell, yes? If you can just state your name and the homeowner for the record here on the recording.
Yes, I am Matthew Newell, and I own the home at 210 Carroll Road.
Okay. The town valued your property at $968,600. You're requesting that be reduced to $750,000. Is that all correct? And you have with you...
He drove me here, but he's also my dad.
Okay. Are you going to be speaking to help in the hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's fine if you do. I just need to add your name here.
Sure, it's Randy Newell,
Okay.
and I'm Matthew's father. An occasional day laborer at 210 Carroll Road.
My dad did the same on my house. Although he was a contractor for many, many years, and I was his slave labor for most of my childhood. So, because this is actually a legal hearing, I need to swear you both in. If you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is, this is the information that we just reviewed. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is sign here. And you can both sign here. Matthew can sign here, and Randy can sign here, that the information is accurate and that you were in fact sworn in. And then we can begin. Date, no matter how many weeks I do. Okay, so now the rest of the time is yours, and the goal here is to explain, provide whatever documentation you can to justify the value of $750,000, and what that would ideally represent is the value that you believe your home would have sold for on October 1st of 2025, which, since you bought the house around that same time, I'd imagine you have some good information on how that would work. And, oh, that's it. This is, oh, yeah, you got lucky the person before you didn't show up, so you got to start a little early. I'm just gonna pull up the information on your home, and I'm gonna take some notes on the computer here. It's weird. 210 Carroll Road. Oh, I was spelling it wrong, that's why. Okay. Right. Yeah, so you bought that house 2 months before the reval date for 749, and they appraised it at 968 2 months later. Did you and you didn't do a complete remodel and renovation or something in that 2 months, did you? No. No. Okay.
Made it worse.
Checking. Okay, so go ahead.
Well, I have the deed here showing I bought it at $749,000.
Okay.
August or
Yeah.
the 12th of August.
Okay. And this was like an open market sale. It wasn't like a
Right.
off-market kind of
Yes, it was
like a public listing and all that. Okay. Just occasionally you get, something like bought like within a family or something for an odd value or something. So, okay. So, did you do an informal hearing or anything? Did you meet with anybody from the assessor's office beforehand? No? Okay. All right. So,
okay. Now I have Exhibit B.
okay.
The appraisal by J.P. Morgan Chase.
Okay.
$750,000.
What was the date on it?
This was done on
July. 2 weeks before the closing.
July 15th.
Okay, so that was the appraisal that they did for your mortgage. Okay. Okay. And that was based on a competitive market analysis, I assume.
Yep, that's full of comps.
So these, all right, so they were all like late 2024 sales. That all adjusted down to that same range. Some upward adjustments, some downward adjustments, so they were like pretty fair. And yeah, I mean, and the houses look pretty comfortable. I mean, looks like you got a deal on your house on a square foot basis, I guess. But, okay. So, this is just, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty standard appraisal report, so yeah, that's the photos. So this is your house here? Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with Carroll. Where is that actually?
Near Franklin University, sort of by Brown Hill.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the turns on the mill plan.
Oh, okay. Oh, not that, I can't offer an opinion, but it's like, I'm not sure how much it matters. It seems like pretty, but I almost want to ask the assessor about this one because it just,
But it's also almost a couple $100,000, $250,000 over.
right.
So I looked on the website for this reassessment, and there's like a bullseye date for, right, when they were looking at it, and this,
Yeah.
it's like,
You're right in there.
it's his own best comp, I think.
Yeah. I'm just curious, $73 is the neighborhood total. Yeah, I mean, I just pulled up, like, everything that sold in that neighborhood, you know, around the same size in that time frame, and they all range from 715 to 800 at the top. So it's not like yours was somehow, like, you know, completely out of whack or something either. So, okay.
That's why we're spending time on a Saturday morning with you.
I know, well, yeah, don't ask me why I'm here on a Saturday morning. Somebody did a good job convincing me to volunteer for this. So, all right, well, is there anything else that you wanted to share? These are all copies, I assume, that I can hang on to. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Is there anything else you wanted to share, any other information? Okay. So I'm going to explain the next steps to you, and then if you can do me a favor before you go, is just because I have a lot of paperwork. I don't know if they asked you beforehand, if I need the appeal number, the 864 on every page, like before you go, if you can just write that in for me, and then you can just bring the packet back to me. But in terms of the next steps, what happens is I present your appeal with the notes that I took and all the information that you presented to a majority of the board. There will be a deliberation and a vote. You'll be notified of a decision within 7 days of that vote. It's 7 days from the vote, not 7 days from now, because we still have a number of these appeals to get through, and then there's 900 of these deliberations to get through. So it has to be done by, sometime in the month of May, because the new tax bills go out in June. If you don't hear anything by end of April or so, then you can check the assessor's website and look up your property and see if it's been posted there. Because unfortunately, again, because of our interesting state laws, it all has to go through the mail and not email or some modern communication method. So if your appeal is denied for some reason, you can come back next year and appeal again. If the value is reduced, then you cannot appeal again until the next revaluation period, which is in 4 years. And if you completely disagree with the board's decision, then the next step would be to appeal in court, and instructions on how you would do that will be in your decision letter.
Do you think there's any other information that we either should have or should put together?
I don't think so, because this on a normal basis, the comps and an appraisal report and the comps are sort of the most valuable things to the board, because we really value the hard data. So that's right here. And like you said, and again, I can only offer my opinion. I'm one of 9 people on the board. But I think in this case, you are your best comp because you bought the house 2 months before the revaluation date. So, this one just strikes me, personally as being peculiar, and somebody's going to listen to the recording and I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, but whatever, I'll go out on a limb.
Yeah, it didn't line up with everything else. Area out there.
No, not by over $200,000. I mean, if somebody, maybe they decide, well, you got an unusually good deal on the house and we're going to hit you for $50,000 or something, then like maybe somebody could make that argument, or a time adjustment for the, from August to October, like typical, they'll adjust like 6% a year, so whatever that would be for 2 months. So, yeah, this is a peculiar one. Yeah, I kind of want to ask the assessor's office if they know, like, kind of how that, what comps were used to come up with this, which is why I was curious if you had done the informal hearing, because sometimes they'll tell you how they got the value. So, okay, if you don't have anything else, then that will conclude appeal number 864 at 9:45 a.m. Thank you. Okay, the time is now 10:50 a.m. This is appeal number 840. The address is 575 Mine Hill Road. The owner of the property is the Susan Kallstrom Revocable Trust, dated July 2nd, 2004. Representing the trust or estate is Susan J. Kallstrom. I have before me, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now I will swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, so you know the process. So what I'm going to do is ask you to, this is the information that we just reviewed.
Yes.
And then I'm just going to ask you to sign here, confirming that we did review that information, that you were in fact sworn in. Sign right there, yeah. Okay. Sorry, that's okay. No matter how many of these I do, I can't remember the date. Okay. So, okay, the rest of the time is yours to explain why you feel that actually, I don't know if I read this part, that the town placed a value of $1,801,100 on your property, and you're requesting that be reduced to $1,500,000.
It's going to be, I'm not getting any younger. I'm 75 years old. I lost my husband 4 years ago, and I lived there alone. And it's very frightening for me because of what takes place there. I do have a police report here showing that they've been there. This was as of 2 weeks ago, and they've been there a couple times since, I know. Here's all of the, I asked if I could get like an explanation of why they were there. Well, they did. He said he couldn't give it to me because it's private.
Yeah.
I said, could you redact their names? And he said, yes, I could. He said, but it's going to take a lot of time. He said, I think I know what to do. So he gave me a compilation of the visits so far this past year, and it's 36, I think, on here. And they've
that was 36 in the past year?
Yes, 36 visits where there's police, fire, ambulances. We've had everything from runaways. This just occurred a couple of weeks ago. I see flashlights in my backyard. I thought, well, it's got to be next door. It was a runaway. And they're canvassing the area to look for this young girl. I'm assuming it's a girl, a young person. And, anyway, so the police and the fire were there looking for they usurp a lot of the town facility, town people that we use, our safety people, our police, our fire, our ambulances. They're at this place a lot. And, the latest thing, well, for me, one of the latest things was that my sweetheart here was helping me in. I just gotten home from the hospital. She got me into bed. I just had major problems with my heart. And she got me upstairs and got me in bed. And she went back down and was unloading the van to bring my other things up I was in the hospital, ICU for 10 days in Bridgeport Hospital with my heart. Anyway, she got me home, was out unloading the car. The next thing I know, I have a police officer running up the stairs to this apartment where I am.
In your house?
In my home.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bedroom up there and a bathroom. And it's easier for me because it's only 7 steps. So I went up, this guy, the guy comes up to the stairs. He runs past her, runs up the stairs, and he says to me, "Where's the jumper?" I said, "Excuse me, the jumper?" And he says, "Wait a minute, is this the Center for Discovery?" And I said, "No, that's next door." But this is what happens. I get this, it's an interruption in my life, and it's scary for me because you have these children that are teenagers that are suicides or attempted suicides. I'm just afraid, and I'm afraid to open my pool this year. I'm afraid I'm going to see a body floating in it. You just never know. And I've asked them, I went over there and talked to this young woman who was the manager at the time. I don't know if she's still there, but I asked her about 8 months ago, could she please, could she call California or wherever the primary owner is, could they put up a fence? Mm-hmm. Could they please put up a fence between their property and mine? Like an 8-foot fence so that kids can't get over it. I planted a row of conifers, but they can still get through that. And I'm just so afraid I don't want anyone suiciding ever, but and I don't want them on my property. And I don't even know if I should open my pool this year because it's scary.
Right.
And and then they're very unfriendly. They don't assimilate anywhere at all in our community. I see them walking with people, and you smile and you talk to them, and not talk to them or say hi. Nothing. It's just they're just not. Well, they're not happy children. Right. And they also, a lot of these people go, even though they're diagnosed, they're not diagnosed properly. I understand that from someone a nurse that used to work there. She told me that.
Right.
And anyway, well, that's kind of like more.
So I understand that's obviously a major issue.
This is going to impact on my property in so many ways if I go to sell it.
Right.
I'm probably not in the near future, but I can't live there forever.
Right.
I would like to have many beautiful memories there, particularly before this place came to be. Mm-hmm. And if my husband were here, he's the one that could really talk.
Right.
Really. He was such a precious man, and he lived there, we had 50 years of a marriage, and he was really sick from Agent Orange disease, and he died at home. He said the only way he wanted to leave that house was to go out feet first.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, he did. But
it seems like you brought some other information with you. Is there anything additional?
This is how it impacts the facilities like this on the sale of my property.
Okay.
I don't know if you need that. That's just a realtor thing.
This is like a value of
the value that.
Yeah, shouldn't say this, but it doesn't,
Okay, anyway, it's,
necessarily
you know,
support your
just-
case, so.
it's just, they're like, just for instance, they don't maintain the property. The driveway looks like a minefield. And, we have these huge food delivery trucks and, other trucks like delivering water and things, and they come and they have to park out on the street. They're big like tractor trailers, and they refuse to go down this driveway, so they make the people that run this facility come up and get the things, all this food and liquids that they need. So that impacts my road.
Mhm.
And plus it impacts, I mean, you look down there, it's terrible looking. It's just not well maintained. And then also, I don't even know how they were able to build a house that far down, because the house, my property's full of wetlands. There's a lot of wetlands down there where
Right.
where that home is.
That's interesting.
So, and I don't know if that's reflected at all in the price tag on my home. Because I actually have like a ravine down there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the wetlands is usually considered to some degree in the property value, but because the wetland still counts towards the coverage limits,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's usually still, even with some wetlands, there's still usually plenty of usable land to build a fairly large home. So
But
there's
what I'm saying
only a
is there are wetlands.
percentage impact
The
of
wetland,
it.
like where that house is, where my property is,
Mhm.
you don't have to go very far, where it's sloshy when you walk.
Right.
So, I wanted to, you know, I'd like to put a barn down there, but I don't know, town would approve. Here is, now this actually makes the place, that's actually the place next door.
Okay.
It actually looks good from these photographs,
Right.
but when you go up close,
Yeah.
not, if you wanna keep that, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I can add this to the file.
I think you probably have all of this,
I have
how my house was evaluated.
yeah, that I have, all of
Okay.
that, and I have the letter that you wrote. But
Yes.
I don't have these documents, and like this one is interesting about like the impact on property values.
And do you need this? This is the police.
I can add it to the file if you'd like, because I'll be presenting all this information to the other board members, so. So it's a lot of police activity.
And that's nothing, really.
Right.
All right, here's another little story. My grandchildren, I have 3 little grandchildren, and it was one of their birthdays, and we were having a party, and we were outside. And the next thing I know, this girl was trying to run away, and she's out in front of my home, screaming and yelling all these obscenities. I'm going to effing murder my mother when I get out of here. This is the kind of thing and this is just what I want my grandchildren to hear. We don't
Right.
talk like that. We
Right.
don't talk like that in my family. And I have to hear all this vulgarity,
Right.
and my little grandchildren do. So I'm assuming you have all of this.
Yes, I have all that
And
file.
here, this is my application. You have this.
Yeah, yeah, got the application, I have,
And you have my statement.
and yes, this, letter that he wrote explaining that. whole
That's from the heart.
Okay. So I will also, and honestly, I don't normally do this, but I was curious. Because, you know, beyond this situation, which impacts the property, I was kind of curious to see just what other homes sold for
Right.
in the area. And what I found is, you know, one, because your house is a cape, there's no capes in the neighborhood, so it's hard to even find comparable sales.
The rooms are small.
Yeah.
We did convert our garage to a family room,
Mm-hmm.
and, that's all in file here at the town.
Right, but I did find, like, in the last year, on Hillside Road, there were two houses that, they're colonials, but they're very similar in size to yours, that were both on 2-acre lots with 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. Those are like a mile from your house, and one sold for 1.475, one sold for 1.625, so they sold for right around the number of what you're asking for.
Yeah.
So those are, I'm gonna add that in there. Like I said, normally we rely on the homeowner to bring that sort of information, but I was just curious for my own interest, so I'm gonna add that there, because I think it's relevant to.
I didn't contact a realtor because they harassed me.
Because they want you to sell your house,
Yes,
probably, yeah.
of course. And they want the listing.
Right,
And I don't want them bothering me. And
Right.
I get enough terrible, ridiculous. I was really thinking, who's Neil Fink? Is that your last name, Fink?
yeah,
Yeah, I thought, who is this? And then I thought, then I pulled over because I was driving. I pulled over, and then I looked at the text that you must have.
yeah, I
There was
spoke
a
to
text, and then I
the
thought, oh
thing
my
saying
gosh,
what was.
what is this?
Yeah.
I had an appointment at 9:20. I'm 12:20.
Yeah, I don't know how, there was some mix-up with the computer that in one place it said, the letter that you received had one time, and then the printout that I was given said 9:20 a.m., but that's okay. I appreciate you adjusting your schedule and
No, it's
coming in a
okay.
little earlier.
I was gonna put this in a booklet and make it look,
That's fine.
have things
You
look exactly
need
the
to do
same
that.
and make it look
Totally
professional.
fine. No, this is totally fine.
I don't know what else I need
I
to.
think, no, I think you've provided good information. The additional information that I found about some other sales is useful. I mean, I found the only other Cape that I could find in the entire neighborhood was on Greenfield Hill Road, which sold back in 2023 for $1.2 million, but then their new appraisal is only $855. It's a little bit smaller than yours, it's only 1,700 square feet, and they're on about half an acre, which is strange, because I thought everything in that neighborhood was all 2-acre minimum.
Yeah, well, I'm
but
on 3.5, and so is the house next door.
Right,
I mean, that
so you
property
have
was a
2 lots,
7-acre.
I guess.
No, the property was a 7-acre lot,
Mm-hmm.
and, those owners that sold, we cut it in half, and they sold one lot to the people that built the home, the builder.
Mm-hmm.
And then that lot in the middle of my house, and Gina Giannone used to be the Howells, used to live there, Alan and his wife. And that came for sale. We had no money. All our money went to buying this home. And they wanted to sell it, that 3.5 acres, to us for $100,000, and it sounded like the moon, you know.
Right.
And so we called the house. We could have maybe swung half of that with a second mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
and they were older and they didn't want any more property. So we said no, unfortunately. So that went to a builder ended up buying it and built that home. And those people that used to live there are like for selling it.
Sure.
It's come to this horrible place.
Right.
I don't understand how the town can allow that. Did that come down from the feds?
I'm not sure how that
How do you put a medical facility in this beautiful
I'm not
neighborhood?
sure. And it's unfortunate that that's the situation that you're experiencing, because actually on my street, 2 houses down from me is a group home
Oh, I
for
don't know. My
elderly,
sister lives in a
and
group home. No, they're
they could not
wonderful.
be lovelier. Occasionally we'll hear the ambulances or police late at
No,
night,
but it's not like
but
that.
we have like 0 issues. The kids
These
used to,
kids
when
are
my kids
like-
were little, they would go there on Halloween and get candy, and they were very lovely.
No, my sister's in a group home, and she's in a beautiful facility. I had her living with me, and then she's severely mentally impaired
Mhm.
and suffers from wicked convulsions and
Oh.
things like that. And she's had it her whole life, but my husband got it. I couldn't take care of her anymore, so I researched for over 4 years, found a beautiful place down there, and she's quite happy. It's lovely. I would have no problem living next to those people
Right,
at all.
right.
There
But
is-
with the troubled
this is
teens, it's a
troubled
different
teens.
situation, yeah.
I mean, I take great pride. It was a tough time to raise my girls when they were teenagers,
Right.
but Their dad was FBI. He was in the head of the FBI in New York.
Oh,
So
okay.
he, between the two of us, we were strict parents, but
Right.
they ended up going to great colleges and married beautiful, wonderful men.
Oh, well, I'm happy for you.
Yes, I am too in that regard. But I really don't even want I would go to my grandchildren now. I go to them rather than them come to me because I don't want them exposed to what's next door.
Right.
And I'm fearful. I mean, if I were to sell my home, I would have to divulge this.
Hmm.
I would assume I would have to divulge
Yeah,
it.
I'm not sure what the.
Well, I couldn't in good conscience
Right.
really sell my home to somebody with children.
Right. Somebody would probably want to put a fence or something, I guess.
Well, if they don't do it, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it, but I'm gonna put the fence on their property line.
Right.
Because I have all these conifers in,
Right.
and I don't know if the town would approve that, but
Yeah, I mean, they might be willing to give you permission because it would benefit them as well.
I would hope so. I just can't deal with this anymore, it's too scary. Very hard.
Okay. Well, if there's no other information that you want to share or questions, then, just to explain the next steps. So
Yeah,
what happens now is that,
goes before the big board?
I'll be presenting your case, the information that you shared and all the notes that I took to a majority of the board. There will be a deliberation session for consideration and a vote. You'll be notified by mail within 7 days of that vote of the board's decision. That's going to take us a little while to get through all of them
Yeah,
because we
I'm
have a
sure.
lot. If your appeal for some reason is denied, you can come back again next year and reappeal. If you're granted a reduction, then you cannot appeal again until the next revaluation, which is 4 years from now. If you disagree with the board's decision, the next step you could take would be to appeal the decision in court, and instructions on how to do so will be in your decision letter. So if you don't have any further questions, then this concludes hearing number 840. And I appreciate your time and thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you for hearing me. And just so you know, I've never done this before. This is the first time I've ever made an appeal.
Okay.
I've never done it before, but it's getting worse.
Right.
It's not getting
Well,
better next door.
It's your right, and everybody should, pay their fair share, and if you feel like you're paying more, then you
Well, I
need to
just feel the
do something about
evaluation
it.
maybe isn't where it should be.
Right, so,
Should be, and I tried to make
Well,
it
you're
so
here.
that it seemed like it was fair to the town and fair to me.
okay. Thank you for coming in, it's very nice to meet you.
Lovely meeting you, and
Nice to meet you.
I wish there was not a mix-up at the times. I
Yeah, I apologize about that, it's okay. I needed to be here anyway, so.
Thank you, dear.
The time is 11 a.m.
Ellie.
This concludes the Board of Assessment appeals for Room 4 on Saturday, March 21st. Neil Fink. The current time is 11:28 a.m.